Good morning, folks. How we doing? Welcome to Friday morning. Yes, mobile heroes. We do trade on Fridays. Super glad that you're here. If you're here for the first time, my name is Tyler, and during these live streams, I'm going to be sharing my daily trading bias. I'm going to be giving you real live trades, a front row seat to all the action. No fluff, just the good stuff. In addition, if you're watching this after the fact, you can jump to the key moments using the chapter markers below for this video where you see the trades that I've taken along with the detailed explanation of what I was thinking and why. Lastly, the 90% off Apex sale is over. It is over, and it seems like a lot of you took advantage of that. So did I. But if you're looking for the most updated discount, whether it's 90%, 80%, 70%, you can use the code DTJ, and that will give you the most updated discount Apex offers if you're looking to use funded firms. With that, let's go ahead, open in prayer, and let's rock and roll this morning. Father, thank you just for your goodness and your kindness today. Lord, today we just choose to celebrate what has been accomplished in 2024. Father, we reflect and honor you, Father, for your goodness and kindness and your provision. And Lord, we just look forward to 2025, and we are excited what you have in store for us. As we continue to focus on education, as we continue to focus on discipline and following our rules, Father, I pray that you would bless the work of our hands, that we would see increase in everything we set our hands to. In Jesus' name, amen. Good morning, folks. How we doing? Welcome to Friday morning. T, Shane, good morning. Wilhelm, how we doing? Good to see you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get rocking and rolling. J Money, Phil, good morning. It looks like we're expanding right now to these highs. You can see these highs being ran right now. We're going to mark a couple levels here that I haven't marked yet. We have our new day. Here is our third new day opening gap high and low sitting right here. Let's go ahead and mark those. And let's also mark our midnight open. And then we also, let's mark our opening range gap. I think we're somewhere sitting around here. Also, let's see if we can find out our London low. I love these relatively equal lows that are down here. No. Our London low has been ran already. But I think I'm still going to mark it. Actually, I'm not even going to mark our London low. I'm going to mark these equal lows. And this is our London high that was just ran. London high was at 425. Okay, so with that, we have about 7 minutes till the market open. I want to give a super fast overview. I did this last night in the Discord. I want to give you guys an idea of what I'm expecting over the next week. With the market sweeping this low, this is a monthly low. If we go to the monthly time frame, you'll see right here, monthly candle, monthly low, swept. That's the monthly chart. Here's the daily chart. Now that we've ran that low, I'm expecting we start making our way back up to this fair value gap, up to the daily fair value gap. That's where I expect price to eventually get to. How we get there is a different story. But this is where I think we're going to go. And then ultimately, I would love to see how we react to this area and maybe move lower from there, running these lows down here, hitting this daily fair value gap down here. We'll see what price wants to do. Today, I expect very, very little. I'm expecting an inside day. I do not expect us, this is just how I'm approaching the market. I do not expect us to run this low or this high. I expect us to stay inside here, okay? I'm expecting a relatively consolidated type of day. Because we're at the beginning of the month. We also had a big sell-off that just got completed. So I think we may see some consolidation. We look at the 4-hour time. We have nothing that is of significance that I can see at the moment. We have London high on the 1 hour being ran. I really do like these equal lows, the new day opening gap and the opening range down here. We'll see if price wants to turn and run lower in the next 5 minutes. That would be nice. Yeah, that's what I think I would like to see. I think my only interest is trying to find a reversal towards these equal lows. I think that's my move for today. That's what I would like to hit. Good morning, Eva, Alkai, Richard, Tony, Chris. Good morning. So that is kind of my analysis for the morning on what I'm expecting, what I want to see happen. Looking at this candle right here, look at the wick tag the London high and then the expansion potentially. We'll see if it wants to expand there. We are in, from a higher time frame from a 4-hour perspective, we are in discount. I guess we're not in that much of a discount. We are in premium within this price leg. But I'm looking at all this low resistance liquidity. So I do see the potential for higher prices. That's our longer term analysis. How we get there is just the question that we're going to have to figure out. That's quite the reaction right there, right before open. Guys, the last few days, everything has been choppy as far as my performance on my computers. I mean, I have so much RAM and so much space that I don't even know why it's performing as poorly as it is. Market opens here in a few minutes, or next minute or so. For those that are in the Discord that know the details of the 930 model, I'm only going to participate in that if we are closing below this fair value gap. I'm not going to take the 930 model most likely this morning based on what I'm seeing happening with price. And that's what you get. It worked out nicely. Good morning, Gunberg. Patrick, how you doing? Happy New Year to you. We have midnight open sitting right here. Gino, how you doing? I think I need to get rid of this midnight open. This midnight open's already been used. So we're not really interested in that. If anything, I'm looking at liquidity. And that liquidity sitting right here. Seeing if we're going to reach up to here. That would be buy side liquidity overlapping with a 15-minute fair value gap. That's a SIBI. Kabode, Happy New Year. Northern, good morning. Just finished 10 hours of work. Folks, hit the like button for me. Let's get up to 20 likes and we will work on taking that on-screen trade. I'll make sure my micro screen is up and running. There we go. Got the micro screen. Waiting for the pullback to buy. Well, there's our buy-side liquidity that has swept. Right there. I don't have an obvious target. I I really don't. I mean, you could say it's the previous week high. But I know I probably should say it's the previous week high. My gut's telling me we're not going to run for that. But I could absolutely be wrong. And I've been wrong many times. I just want to clarify and let everybody know I've been wrong many times before. I mean, it's hard for me to ignore these equal lows, guys. It's really hard for me to want to do anything running away from these equal lows. I like this 2 minute. It is 22 handles large. So these are big candles here. Yeah, that's those equal lows I have. You'll see those equal lows that I have right there. All right, Kabode's in for the long. Good luck, man. Hope it at least gets to this high. I do like how it respected the premium portion of the fair value of the 2 minute fair value gap. So yes, Gino, 3 max. So if you're only trading 1, if you can get it done in 1, I'd be out. I'd be out completely. Deborah, good morning. Nice sweep of the highs. Let's see if it wants to push through this or where it's going to close. Strong close above. That makes this an order block right here. Nice expansion higher. All right, so we just came into the volume imbalance on the 4 hour. There's a 4 hour volume imbalance I have marked out right here. I think that's 4 hour. Either way. Nice trade. Way to go. I would be calling it a day. Let's look at the 30-minute. Nothing. Let's look at the hourly. Nothing. Let's look at the 4 hour. Nothing. Let's look at the daily. That's it. That's the only thing we got, folks. It's either this volume imbalance or previous day high. At least on a higher 15-minute time frame or higher. Well, we are well past OTE. I don't do any bull flags, Kabod. Most people here don't really do that. With the concepts we teach are ICT concepts. So we're looking for imbalances and liquidity to be ran. So if I was going to take a long, I would look at coming back down to this order block right here. I would want it to find support there. But I think that's still a little deep for how close we are to this liquidity point and to this previous day high. ES just ran its equal highs right here. So I think we could see a turning point if we wanted right there. Equal highs on ES. So it depends on which kind of contract you're using there, Patrick. If you're trading on the screen that I'm on, this is a mini contract account. The contract ID is NQH 2025. Each tick, for every 25 cents it goes up or down, it's $5. Now, if you go onto my micro contract, which is this screen right here, this is where I'll be executing. These are micro contracts, and every tick on this is 50 cents, I believe. Yeah, 50 cents. So less risk here, more risk here. All right, let's see how it reacts to this order block here. I would like it to run right through it. This is a nice inversion too to this low. We've got another inversion here to this low. These equal lows, both I think are decent setups. I'm open for a scalp higher right here. Ultimately, I'm looking for lower prices, but if we are aggressive and we close above this fair value gap towards this liquidity point, I'd be interested in it. Actually, I take that back. I'm not, because ES already ran the highs. If ES didn't run their equal highs, I would say I would be interested in it, but I'm not going to take that because ES already hit its liquidity point. I would rather look to see it hit this breaker, reject, close below this 2-minute fair value gap, and I'd take a short off of that. That would qualify. We'll see if it wants to close here. And we would target that equal this low right here. Looks like it might run without us. Son of a gun. I was waiting for the close. We can still take this one based off of those equal lows there. I have to wait for the 2-minute because this could, even though I want to go short right now, we ran liquidity and are in a 2-minute fair value gap. We could come back up and balance this area again. I don't want to just assume we're really heavy and go. If it starts running and aggressively displacing lower, I may do that for a quick scalp. We do have this breaker right here. So just want to be careful. I'm referring to this right here, this breaker right here on the 15-minute chart. $10 typically. 10 to 15. That's my minimum, but I'll let that run to liquidity if it can. I just drag and drop boxes. I drag and drop boxes. I like doing it myself, so I physically am knowing what levels I like. I like the fact that we have this order block here. If we can close below it, that'll make this trade to these equal lows really nice. This is an equal low on NQ, or on NQ on the minis contract. This is what we're looking at right now as the micros. I'm prepping for taking a short here. We are in the 10 a.m. macro time. It's 9:55. ES just ran liquidity here. So did NQ. I don't know if I can here. So ES ran this liquidity point right here, but it also ran these equal highs. We still have the previous day high. I'm not going to rule that out, but this, to me, in my mind, was a big liquidity point on ES. So if I'm going to take a scalp, it would be very quick, and it would be, I did say I'm not interested in this, but with both NQ and ES running liquidity, that makes this more attractive now. I would be open to considering a quick scalp to these highs and this buy side liquidity sitting right here. It's a 15-minute swing high. But I need displacement. I need it to, I can't see it tick, 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 tick and close barely above it. I need it to be an aggressive candle that closes here. A large candle that closes here. That's the only way I'll take it. I'm not going to take, with an average ATR of, 5 handles. 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3. No. I want it to be aggressive in 1 or 2 candles, close above it, and I would take that for this high. But ultimately, if I had a preference, I want to see it run lower to the equal lows that we have sitting over here. It's just, these are too smooth. And we have the new day opening gap that hasn't been ran. And the opening range gap hasn't been ran either. Let's see if we can wick up into here. I would like to see not equal highs, but I would like to see it wick up into here and then run lower. That's what I would prefer, but I mean, it's not going to change my trade. Let me see what the 1 minute looks like, just so I know. I'd be open to this 1 minute as well. Let's hang out on the 1 minute for a few minutes. Well, we got 10 o'clock in 30 seconds. we got relatively equal highs. So if we can get the 9 o'clock candle to give me a wick here and then run lower, I'd be interested in that. Or if we start displacing above this candle, I'd be interested in that. All right, so there's the candle there, 9 o'clock, and there's the displacement lower. I like that. I want to see if it wants to displace here. I can't. What? Okay, I'm about to take a trade, so it can't be right now. Can you give me 10 minutes? I like this type of candle here. I like this. We filled this. Now if we displaced and we start seeing momentum lower, that would be really nice. I don't know what the news candle was. I knew there was something happening. I'd check, but right now I don't want to miss a move. So here's that breaker that I've been referring to. I'm going to go ahead and take a short right here. Based on the wick, breaker. I like everything here. Let's see what happens.
Order submitted.
I think I might have entered too early. Wasn't patient enough. I might have to close this trade, folks. Let's see how this candle reacts here. I like the way ES looks. I just don't like the amount of drawdown that I'm holding. All right, I think I'm gonna have to close this. I'm kind of watching this wick at the top here. I don't like it. Okay, I gotta get out there.
Order submitted.
That did not work out the way I wanted to, folks. There's the close above the 2 minute, 1 minute right there. So there's the sweep for the high. And I think, if I'm honest with you, I think that drawdown on that trade is going to violate one of my rules, violate the 30% rule, because that was, I increased my size. So there's a good chance that I will get denied when I request a payout. That sucks. I'm a little irritated. So we swept this high, but we haven't grabbed this high right here. Slightly irritated because I requested a payout yesterday that is now probably getting denied. You guys are seeing it firsthand in the trenches. That's irritating. Basically, I didn't follow my rules. I should have closed that trade at a max of 80 points or 80 ticks. And I didn't do that. The only thing I can think of is if I was going to take this trade, I shouldn't have taken it down here. I should have taken it up here and taken a better position for the displacement. Instead, I waited and it looked better here, so I took it down here, which, yes, we did close below this order block, but ultimately I wanted to see it close below this. So I basically violated my own rules by looking at something that looked attractive, which I've done before and it's worked, but in this case, I don't like the decision that I made. I mean, obviously, I don't like the decision that I made, right? I lost money there. But I think the lesson for me is, like, if I think that this is a breaker, high, low, higher, high, displacement lower, and we come up into it, I need to take that trade up here at the entry point, not down here, hoping for a continuation. Because if I take it here at the entry point and not at the hope of a continuation, then I could move my stop to break even, and that would have been 30 handles in itself right there.
Order submitted.
So we got relatively equal lows right here. I want to see if we want to run below this. We got the 2-minute here. All right, so looking for the close of this right here. If we can get a close below this fair value gap, I would like to take that lower. Just to these equal lows sitting right here. Yeah, so if you are NQH E-mini, on the bottom right hand corner you'll see it's not on mine actually at the moment. You should see the word set, S-E-T. If you see the word set, that should allow you to change the time, and you also want to make sure that your time frame is on UTC 5. All right, so we have an order block in here. We have a breaker right here. All right, I took that short for 106 ticks. It didn't close, but I saw the breaker, and so when we started pushing, I took that short. Now, if anything, I should have held a contract or two for the equal lows, because this really is my target down here. We'll wait for this close, official close on the 2-minute, and we'll see how it wants to react to it. Yeah, I got in on that short just a little too early. I should have waited for my rules. That's a lesson learned on my end. I took what I thought looked nice, and I should have waited. All right, so let's see how it reacts to 930. I want to see if it can come up to 930. We are also at the new day opening gap from the second. We have the third down here. The 1001 candle. Yep. I got in down here off of the higher time frame breaker and took that short. Got relatively equal highs right here. Not very strong, but I mean, it's still framing a 2-minute fair value gap. Here's the tag of the 2-minute fair value gap. This is the Nasdaq. Oh, I gotcha. So Shane, you got delayed data. I didn't even think about that, but that's probably the case. Yeah, something drives you crazy enough, you'll figure it out. I'm still a little irritated on that first loss. Because that's going to affect my payouts. Really annoyed by that. All right, so the 5-minute created this wiki candle that closed about 4 minutes ago. We got fair value gaps here and here. Breaker on the 5-minute sitting up around 349 on the 5-minute. Yeah, if it's on 90%, but I don't think John, I think it just ended. So I don't know what it's in at, if it's 70 or 80%. Has anybody checked to see what Apex discount is currently? $50% off, yeah. So they took that away. And normally their resting spot is 50% until they do another one, but more than likely they'll jump just to a regular 80% off. Probably, my guess is give it a week. I was right on the New Year discount. They skipped Christmas, and I was like, everybody wait for New Year's because they'll probably give a discount at that point, and they did. Only reason I'm still sitting here is because of these equal lows right here. It's where I want to see price run to, and I want to see if I can grab a piece of that. See if I can recover some of the losses that some more of that loss. With how irritated I am, I should just walk away, to be honest, and just accept it and walk away. Really irritated with that. Lesson to be learned there, folks, is accept that you're wrong. Accept that you're wrong. Accept when you're in a trade and it's not going your direction, accept that you got it wrong and close the trade. I didn't. I did not do that. I didn't. I was waiting to see if we were going to respect this wick high. And we ended up on this candle closed above it aggressively. So hurt myself quite a bit by waiting for this candle instead of just taking a 10 handle stop loss. Folks, I'll be right back. My wife came to the door. It sounds like she needs to ask me a question. So I'll be right back in a couple minutes. I'm just going to switch to this screen here. And I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, folks, we're back. No, Apex Tony is done with. Apex 90% sale is off the table. We reacted to the monthly price and the new day opening gap sitting right here. I think the only way that I'm interested in going short again is a run of this buy side liquidity. Yep, that does look like a 2022 model. We've had, let's look at the higher time frame here. We are still inside this 15-minute up closed candle. We still have not completely retraced that. Honestly, for us to go short, I think we need to close below the 930 price. I guess you could do it from here, but you got a really small 2-minute fair value gap. I like the 3-minute here. That's a lot of, I mean, that's 3 minutes. We'll see how that reacts. Ted, I do like those. I do like those right there, especially overlapping with this fair value gap, the 3-minute fair value gap. Oh, yeah, 100% Shane. It's way easier to follow along. Now, the only thing that I'm going to say, Shane, and I'm doing a video on this, is one of the mistakes that I made that resulted, love you, sweetie, that resulted in thousands of dollars of losses. And I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars of losses at the beginning when I started out was signals, taking signals from other people. This channel is not about signals. This channel is about teaching you how to read the market yourself. Okay? There are others out there that will pay, you can pay to get signals, and they'll tell you when to get in, when to get out. The problem is you don't have your own conviction. And my job and the way I view my role as an educator is to teach you to find your own conviction. Now, I had conviction on a trade that I was wrong. If you were to just copy that and you took it with no conviction, maybe you would have actually saved yourself some money. But can you imagine taking a trade with zero conviction on here and you're copying somebody else, and then you take a, what was it? 2-4. That was a 40 handle loss I took. I mean, just insanely, what's the word I'm looking for? Not incompetent, but it was just like dumb. It was extremely dumb. Like, there's no reason I should have done that, but I did. And you guys got to see it. But my job as a trader and educator is to help you identify your own convictions through pattern recognition, through understanding liquidity and imbalances. And so you can take your own trades based on your own conviction that has been built over time by sitting in front of the charts. Now, the trade that I took that I lost, I had the conviction. It's to me, here's the thing. It was the right time. It was 10 o'clock. We ran into a breaker, overlapping fair value gap, run of liquidity. Everything in my mind said this was right. But because of that, I held my trade longer than I should have. I took the short here instead of taking the short here. I took the short here and let it go all the way through here, which is, I mean, if I held all the way up there, that would have been a 70 handle loss. I mean, that's a trade in itself. But as far as my conviction, everything was here. Everything was here. It just didn't play out, and I didn't follow my stop loss rule and admit that I was wrong. And my entry was very poor. So two lessons I'm learning, or that I'm taking away from this loss, is my entry was extremely poor, and my risk management was extremely poor. If I really wanted to take this breaker, I should have taken it up here when it was hitting the breaker, not after it displaced 30 handles. And then I could have been stopped out for break even here if I was wrong. So I need to take my entry based on the model, not based on the reaction to the model. In other words, if this is the breaker, I need to take the entry here, not after it's ran 30 points lower. Second is I should have managed my stops. I want a 40 tick stop loss. The max I'll do is 80. And I blew that out of the water. Absolutely destroyed that. And I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to pay for it over the next 2 weeks. Because my request that I put in yesterday is going to be denied. Because of how large that loss was. And then the other sucky thing is I'm going to sit with this all weekend. No, so Alkai, I'm going to be denied because of the loss that I took today. I put in a request yesterday that would have been fine because I know that I haven't had any major losses, but the loss I took this morning on stream, I didn't follow my rules, and I didn't kill the trade when I should have, and my loss was greater than 30%. 30% of my starting balance. So when I have a pending transaction, it's going to deny it. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. Yep. The request is still pending. The requests, multiple accounts, and they're all going to get denied. Now, I understand, Matt. I totally get it, but it's their rules. I know the rules. I've accepted the rules, and I should have. There's no there. I mean, it's even part of my own rules not to do what I did, and I did it. Yes, but hang flying, when the request is made, there's a pending period. Typically, it's 48 hours. Sometimes they approve them in 24 hours. But during that pending period, if you break any of your rules, they can just automatically deny it during the pending period. Now, if it was approved and then you break your rules, well, then they can't do anything about it. It's going to be paid. Matt, so hopefully you're understanding the circumstances if you just joined the stream. I had a loss that I didn't follow my rules, and the loss was greater than 30% of my starting balance. So my starting balance was after the payout. So it was 4,500 was my starting balance, but I requested 1,500 on